Storms don't usually kill people at peak intensity. They kill during the handoff, when the weather slows down, but the systems don't come back. Power, information, roads, assumptions gone. And if you keep using normal rules in this phase, you start making decisions that don't survive contact with reality. Hi, I'm Luke. This is Sketchy Survivor. I teach real-world survival using what people actually have, not fantasy gear. We focus on physics, biology, and decision-making under pressure because that's what decides outcomes when systems fail. And today, I'm going to walk you through how to survive a major storm, before, during, and after. Not hero moves, not dramatic rescues, just what actually keeps people alive. The three-phase survival model. A storm isn't one event. It's three different environments back to back. Before the storm, survival is about positioning. During the storm, survival is about damage control. After the storm, survival becomes blackout survival. Each phase has different rules. Most injuries happen when people use the right behavior in the wrong phase, and the mistakes that cause that usually start before the storm even arrives. Phase 1. Preparation and positioning before the storm. Preparation isn't about comfort. It's about buying time when systems stop working. Everything you do before the storm is meant to prevent panic decisions later, when movement becomes dangerous and options collapse. You might think you're ready. Most people do. And most people still miss one thing that matters. And here's how you prepare. First thing first, power and light. When storms knock power out, people don't get hurt because they're scared. They get hurt because they can't see. Falls, cuts, head injuries. Most of them happen in the dark. Here's what you want ready. Flashlights. They beat candles every time. Headlamps, so your hands stay free. Fresh batteries, so you're not waiting on a recharge. You might think you need candles. Candles feel calm, but they also turn storms into house fires. This part doesn't feel dramatic, which is exactly why people forget it. Next, think food and water. Hunger doesn't kill you quickly, but hunger makes people rush. Here's what to have on hand to avoid being in that position. Simple, no cook food. Calories you can eat cold. Water for drinking and sanitation. Water is particularly key once the power is out. Because refrigeration stops, stores empty fast. Boil water advisories can appear without warning. A boil advisory means the water coming out of your tap may not be safe to drink, even if it looks clear. Flooding, pressure loss, and damaged pipes can pull contaminants into the system. You usually find out late, after people have already used it. That's why having drinkable water before the storm matters. It keeps you from rushing out or quietly making yourself sick. When systems are unstable. Third, communication. After storms, information doesn't disappear. It becomes uneven. One neighborhood knows something, another doesn't. Cell towers overload. Internet drops in pieces. So, for communication, get this handled before the storm. Charge battery banks so you have a way to charge your phone without your house. Keep an AM/FM or weather radio. Don't rely on live updates alone. The goal isn't to receive constant news. The goal is knowing when not to move and recognizing the few moments when movement is actually safer than staying put. Most of the time after a storm, movement makes things worse. Roads are damaged, signals are out, flooding is uneven, help is delayed. Moving just to check usually turns one problem into several. Movement only makes sense when staying creates a higher risk than leaving. Things like fire, structural collapse, rising water, active gas leaks. Those are environmental failures, not inconveniences. If your environment is actively degrading, you move early and deliberately. If it's stable but uncomfortable, you stay put and buy time. Survival isn't about never moving. It's about not moving for the wrong reason. Number 4. Fuel up your car. It is the most overlooked multi-tool. Fueling your car before a storm is not about evacuating. It's about having a working system when everything else shuts down. A full tank gives you phone charging, heat or cooling if you need it later, lighting, communication access, the ability to relocate if conditions force you to. After storms, gas stations lose power. Pumps don't work. Lines form instantly. A full tank doesn't mean you're leaving. It means you have options. Options don't make you reckless. They make you patient. Number 5. Think about home positioning. Before the storm hits, you need to secure loose items. Clear areas that could become debris. Pick the safest interior room now. Stage shoes, light, and first aid there. Know how to shut off utilities. Because you don't prepare to survive the storm. You prepare to survive what the storm leaves behind. Phase 2. During the storm. Damage control and deadly mistakes. During the storm, survival isn't action. It's restraint. Mistake number 1, standing by the windows. It feels harmless. It isn't. Glass doesn't just break. It explodes inward. If you can see the storm clearly, you're already too close to it. Mistake number 2, thinking the storm is over when it's not. Storms pause. They reposition. They come back from new angles. Going outside during a lull is how people get caught off guard. Storms don't end cleanly. They lie. Now comes the part that gets people hurt. The stuff they do to feel normal in the dark. Mistake number 3, using open flame. This is how people turn small mistakes into fatal ones. Generators and grills create carbon monoxide, invisible, odorless, and deadly. People fall asleep and don't wake up. The calmest deaths are often the quietest ones. Mistake number 4, not planning for compounding failures. Storms don't create one emergency. They stack failures. Flooding, ground collapse, downed power lines, gas leaks. If floodwater starts entering your home, the rules change fast. Your house stops being shelter and starts being terrain. Flood survival deserves its own episode because most people get it wrong. Surviving the storm is only half the job. What happens next is where most people get hurt. Phase 3. After the storm. Danger after the storm. When the storm passes, you're not safe. You're in a blackout environment. Power is out. Lighting is gone. Roads are damaged. Information is delayed. And the most dangerous thing in this phase is how normal everything looks. People rush, cleaning, driving, fixing. That's when injuries spike, because your brain hears quiet and assumes safe. Most people survive the storm and get hurt trying to return to normal. After a storm, danger doesn't come from chaos. It comes from delayed failure. Here's what's actually around you. Flooding. Water doesn't drain evenly. Depth is hidden. Currents form where roads look safe. Landslides and ground collapse. Soil fails after saturation, not during rain. Roads and slopes give way without warning. Downed power lines. Lines can be live even when the power is out. Water and debris carry electricity unpredictably, and none of these hazards look dangerous at first. Falling trees and branches, storms crack limbs without breaking them. They fall later, when the wind stops and people go outside. Burst pipes and internal flooding. Pressure changes, freezing, and shifting structures cause pipes to fail after the storm, not during it. Water spreads into walls, ceilings, and electrical systems, turning a small leak into a cascading hazard. Gas leaks and carbon monoxide. Damaged lines and improvised power create invisible threats. People don't feel the danger until it's too late. Structural damage. Roofs, awnings, and walls fail under delayed stress. Buildings don't always settle safely. Once you see that, you stop fixing and start stabilizing. Low light makes all of this worse. You don't see the hazards clearly. Your brain fills in the gaps with what it expects to be there. That's normal, and that's why people get hurt. The first hour after a storm is not for cleanup. It's not for errands. It's not for fixing everything. It's for stabilization. Account for people, identify hazards, secure one safe lit area, slow everything down. This feels boring. Boring is what keeps people alive. Now you know how to handle a major storm, before, during, and after, like a pro. If this helped you, share it with someone who might need it before the storm makes the decision for them. I'm Luke. This is Sketchy Survivor. Stay alert, stay safe,